Hello, lovely community. I've been thinking a lot about this lockdown phenomenon. We're about to finish our first week, 2 more weeks ahead, and I have a number of questions for you. Is this a time of quiet reflection, or is it a hectic, crazy time with too much going on? Is this an opportunity to learn a new skill, or is this when you actually need to learn how to manage stress in very difficult situations? Is this a time of isolation in which you are separated from and missing family, loved ones, and friends? Or is it a time of almost family confinement, of being around one another so much all the time? Is this a wonderful time to reconnect as family, or is this something that places a great deal of strain upon family? The answer that I have to those is yes. Lockdown is potentially all of those things, because it is different things to different people. Each one of us have our own unique situation and therefore our own lockdown experience. And I don't think there is too much to be gained by comparing ours with others and saying, oh, I saw this family did these amazing family activities, and I didn't manage this. I saw this person has launched a whole new business, and I'm really struggling. I don't think any of that is necessarily going to help us, because it may very well not speak to our situation. Certainly, we can look at what others are doing to be inspired by the things that do resonate with us, but not in terms of creating any kinds of expectations. We had this wonderful parenting check-in with Haley Rubin last night, and a few of the points that came out. There's one thing that I think everyone's going through to some extent, and that is anxiety and stress. Anxiety about our own health and that of the people that we care about. What kind of toll is this virus going to take? And anxiety about finance. Many of us, we ourselves have already been challenged in terms of what this virus means. But for a lot of people, although at the moment it may be okay, there's a lot of anxiety and uncertainty around what's still coming down the line. Even if you are in a sector which currently is doing fine, nobody knows how long that's going to be for. And so together with the anxiety, there is uncertainty. What does the future hold? I don't think there's anyone who can say that. If only we had the prophets who would be able to answer those questions for us, but we do not know what the future holds for South Africa and for the world, for our community. What we have to do is move forward with faith and trust and careful responsibility and caring for one another. But finally, some of the other experiences that people had. One is the sense of feeling like you're in, somebody gave the analogy, feeling like you're in an airport where days just kind of, time passes without anything to mark the passing of time. For some people, it's very helpful to create a routine or to check in with one another, or even just to write a list of things that you have done that day in order to keep you on track, in order to keep you the feeling of being grounded, that this is a day that has a beginning, middle, and end, even though that external structure is not being provided in the same way. Another one is about doing well enough, not necessarily saying how I want to do everything amazingly, but how can I make sure that I am not dropping the ball in a really major or fundamental way, that I'm doing well enough. And perhaps that needs to be your goal, not to do amazing, but to do fine. The next point is the idea of eventually. Yes, I need to do X, Y, and Z, but do I really need to do it today? In a perfect world, I do everything I need to do today. But we are not living in a perfect situation. And so if there are things that I need to do, I'll get to them eventually. Those are some reflections, the different ways in which we're experiencing this lockdown, the similarities, the commonalities that we're sharing, and some different strategies that people are finding helpful. I wish you and your loved ones all well. Let's carry on taking care of one another. Keep well, and I'll speak to you soon.